Now we are again starting some one more session on current affairs. So this session will be on current affairs basically. So now next PIB from 17 May to 23 May. It's May. Okay. It's we discussed I think Ministry of Health. Now we are going to discuss now 1st May to 16th of May I think. So it's 16 days out of like government takes steps to ramp up availability of amphotericin B to fight mucormycosis. A sudden increase in the demand has been observed in some states for amphotericin B, which is being actively prescribed by the physician to patients suffering from mucormycosis post-COVID complication. The Government of India therefore engaging with the manufacturer to ramp up production of drug. The supply position expected to improve with extra imports of this drug. And mycormycosis is a black fungus zygomycosis. Okay, and it is serious but rare fungal infection caused by the group of mold called mycomycetes. It's occurred through inhalation and inoculation injection of the spore from the environment. Mycormycosis does not spread between people or between people and animal. It usually occurs in people who have health problem or take medicine that lower the body ability to fight germ and sickness. So one-sided facial swelling and numbness, headache, nasal sinus congestion, black lesion on nasal bridge or upper inside mouth, fever, abdominal pain, nausea, gastrointestinal bleeding. It needs to be treated with prescription antifungal medicine. So often mycormycosis is surgery to cut away the infected tissue, and there is no vaccine to prevent it. Early detection can prevent loss of eyesight, nose or jaw through clinical intervention. Amphotericin B used to treat serious, potentially life-threatening fungal infection. It's class of medication called antifungals. It works by slowing growth of fungi infection. It typically given by the infection into vein. Amphotericin B was isolated from streptomycin, came medical use, World Health Organization. Okay, now threefold increase in the production of remdesivir in countries. So drugs such as remdesivir are given to the patient who have moderate processing towards the COVID-19. So once the virus entered the human cell, it releases genetic material which is then copying using a body existing mechanism. At every stage of infection, various human protein, virus protein and their interaction come into play. At the replication stage, the key viral protein called the become the engine of the virus. Remdesivir act by the directly attacking, with remdesivir replacing the feeding material. It's need the virus fail to replicate further. So remdesivir was the first drug approved by the US FDA for treating the SARS-CoV-2. It was claimed to be effective in the severe and critical stage of COVID-19. It was also understood to the hepatotoxis, damaging liver cell, and practically viral replication ends 1 to 7 day. Complications that occur in critical and severe COVID and inflammatory response. So this drug ideally should be used in the early stage between the second and 10th day, and when viral replication is happening. So according to WHO, remdesivir failed to prevent death among patients, but many reduce the length of hospital. So it should not be used on patients who are asymptomatic, mildly symptomatic, or who are severely ill. So use between the second 10th day of the infection to improve the effectiveness. Liquid medical oxygen. 65% of human body is oxygen. Yes, oxygen is vital for respiration and the process that transfer energy from glucose to cell. In fact, every cell in our body requires oxygen. When the breath air in oxygen molecule enter the lungs and lungs fall into our blood. Oxygen is crucial for the treatment of patient COVID-19 and affects lung functioning. Shortness of breath, difficulty in breathing is one of the most common symptoms in the patient with severe COVID-19. and it also hampered the supply of oxygen to various parts of body. This hence needs oxygen therapy to be supplied through medical oxygen. One of the way in which this oxygen can be supplied is liquid medical oxygen and high purity oxygen. So due to the low melting and boiling points, oxygen is in gaseous state at room temperature. So liquidation enables storage in large volume and easier transportation. There are several methods. The most common production method is separation of oxygen and water and on air separation unit, and are basically plants that separate large volume of gases. Method called the fractional distillation method, and produce pure oxygen from atmospheric air, which consists mostly nitrogen, oxygen 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen, remaining 1% gases. So in this method, gases from the air are separated into various components and cooling them into liquid state, then liquid oxygen extracted from it, atmospheric air and first cooled, and the boiling nitrogen its remain gaseous state, but organ boiling is similar, minus 186, hence a significant amount of argon liquid along with oxygen. The resultant mixture of oxygen and argon is drained and decomposed and passed through a second low pressure distillation vessel for further purification. And water are cryogenic containers. So cryogenic is the production and behavior of material at very low temperature. A cryogenic liquid is defined as the liquid with the normal boiling minus 90. Cryogenic liquid contains all specifically designed for safe and economic transportation, storage of liquid gases, cryogenic temperature, and containers highly insulated. So what is the pressure swing adsorption technique? Oxygen can also be produced non-cryogenically in gaseous form using selective adsorption. This method property the under high pressure gas tend to the attract to solid surface. The higher the pressure, the more the adsorption gas. It is gas mixture such as pass under the pressure through a vessel containing zeolites. Nitrogen more strongly than oxygen. At part of all of the nitrogen will stay in the bed, and the gas existing vessel will richer in oxygen relative to the mixture. So hospital can also opt for on-site generation of oxygen method, which oxygen is produced from ambient air, concentrating it. Now India UK virtual summit. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson announced India UK trade and investment worth 1 billion, including the investment 240 billion and vaccine business. So virtual summit India and UK or package includes 533 million pounds of new Indian investment into the UK vital growing sectors such as health and technology. British expert and India for 42 million pounds. So includes the pounds pump for the Serum Institute of Vaccine Business in the Britain new cell office to elevate the bilateral tie to the comprehensive strategic. It will pave the way for the deeper, stronger engagement over the next 10 years, people to people contacts, economy, defense and security, climate action, health. Enhanced trade partnership sets ambitious target to doubling bilateral trade by 2030, and UK and India agreed on roadmap to negotiate the comprehensive balance, including consideration on the interim trade agreement for the diverting early gains. It aimed to support the transfer of inclusive Indian innovation to select developing countries starting Africa. Cabinet gives post facto approval to MOU between India and UK on global innovative partnership and opportunity for mobility of students and professions between the two countries, and Cabinet approved MOU between the India and United Kingdom, Great Britain and North Ireland migration on mobility. India EU leaders meeting. It's an invitation of the President of European Council, Indian Prime Minister. So meeting was held hybrid format and 26 EU members, President, European Council and European Commission participated. This is first time that EU hosted the meeting, and EU plus 27 format. It will further build on the momentum witnessed in relationship. During the meeting, leaders exchanged views on the key thematic area: foreign policy, security, COVID-19, climate, environment, trade, and connectivity. So, India EU ambition comprehensive connectivity partnership focus in enhancing digital energy, transport, people to people connectivity. India welcomed decision to India EU also enhance bilateral cooperation, 5G, AI, quantum computing, high performance computing, digital technology, early operationalization, joint task force AI, digital investment for Pune Metro by the Ministry of Finance. India participated in third Arctic Science Ministerial. The first two meeting was the was held in Germany, respectively, global platform for discussing cooperation research in the Arctic region. The first Arctic Science Ministerial was, and the second was on Germany. The third was jointly organized by the Japan, Iceland. So the Arctic Science Ministerial aim at providing opportunity to various which include indigenous community, academia and policymaker and government to enhance their collective understanding of Arctic region. It also emphasized and engage in the constant monitoring and strengthening the observation. India continue to play a positive role deepening the shared understanding Arctic through the research, observation, international cooperation, capacity building and Arctic both remote sensing and India will be developing open ocean mooring in the Arctic region. It will be for the long term monitoring upper ocean variable marine metro. India took growing evidence of the connection between the Indian Ocean and Arctic region, modulate Indian monsoon, improving understanding physical process, measuring the impact of Arctic ice melt. In ISRO and NASA both are synthetic aperture radar satellite mission is the radar collaboration with the United States also underway mission for India. US aims to measurement of the consequences of land surface change and sustain Arctic Observation Network. SOUN is the what it will be joint activity of International Arctic Science Committee and Arctic Council purpose to support the strengthen the development multinational engagement sustain coordination. Svalbard Treaty is for Arctic. So India has permanent research station in Arctic Himadri and Svalbard area. So it has deployed sensor moored observation and Arctic policy aims to expanding scientific promotion National Center for Polar and Ocean Research. Now, Agabati sector to bring back livelihood for the local community. The National Bamboo Mission launched the MIS Management Information System based on reporting platform for Agarbatti stick production to collect the location of stick making unit, availability of raw material, functioning of unit production capacity. So its a linkage with industry will be synergizing better to enable seamless procurement from production unit and information gap. So state are in process documenting all the unit to assess better how further support can given vocal to local make for the world and global market. National Bamboo Mission Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprises Khadi and Village Industry. So it is with industry partners step up focus support to enable India to become a Atmanirbhar Bharat. Agarbatti bring back livelihood for the local community while at the same modernizing the sector too. The Agarbatti sector provided large scale employment to the local workforce which however dwindled due to the various factors including the ingress of cheap imports of round stick and raw batti. A comprehensive study was carried by the following which policy measure take government of moving raw batti imports free to restricted category and increasing import. The restructuring the National Bamboo Mission was the holistic development of bamboo sector through a cluster-based approach and spoke model to harness the opportunity by providing backward and forward linkage, linking the farmer to market. There is a huge potential to place Indian bamboo product in the domestic as well as global market. Latest technology, modern processing by the generating awareness and compliance requirement for the destination country. The mission is streamlining its intervention, enhance domestic activity as well as augmenting the farmer income with support technical agency and facilitate state direct subsidy 50% given to the farmer and 1 lakh per 100% of government agency also entrepreneur for the setting up various product development. Mission was the through the respective state bamboo mission and rising state to make available quality planting and plantation of commercially required species, set up common facility center, post harvest unit, requirement of existing and sunrise industry. Ministry of Food Processing Industry issue guideline for the production link incentive scheme for food processing. Government of India has approved a new center sector scheme, namely production link incentive scheme for food processing industry for implementing during 10,900 crore to support the creation of global food manufacturing champion commensurate with the India Natural Resources Endowment and support Indian brands of food products. Ministry of Food is inviting application for availing the sale-based incentive and grant for understanding branding marketing under the scheme from category. So applicant under this category could undertake branding marketing activity and applicant manufacturing innovate organic products and applicant solely for grant undertaking branding and marketing. Cabinet approved production link incentive scheme national program on advanced chemistry cell battery storage to achieve the manufacturing capacity 50 gigawatt and 5 gigawatt. So new generation advanced storage technology can be store electric energy either electrochemical or as chemical energy and convert it back to the electric energy. It will also give a big push to the electric mobility benefiting the wheeler four-wheeler importing battery storage. Biodegradable yoga mat developed. Assam may save lakhs from the water. Hyacinth Minas. The girl belonged to the fishing community living in the Deepor Bill, a permanent freshwater lake in southwest Guwahati city, recognized Ramsar site and the bird wildlife sanctuary. The lake has been a source of livelihood for 9 village of fishing community who shared this biome for century, but over years suffered from the excessive growth and accumulation of water. So the innovation of Girls Wood family are directly dependent on the wetland of survival could contribute significantly toward the environment conservation and sustainability. Dipor bill for Morhan yoga mat will soon introduce to the world market as a unique product. And Kam Sorai Purple as resident Dipor Bill Wildlife Sanctuary. So initiated by the Northeast sector for the technology application and autonomous body under the Department of Science and Technology to involve the entire women community associated with collect called Simang, meaning dream led to six girl to create wealth. Consideration. So, considering all aspects of water hyacinth property and the functional requirement of a product like mat, a hand woven 100% biodegradable and 100% composable mat. So, yoga was intended as a mean to provide multiple ecological social benefits. Developed through fiber processing, technological intervention could improve the aquatic ecosystem, help sustainable production of utility of products, community engagement, generate livelihood for the indigenous community, become the Atmanirbhar. So collection, drying, preparation of water before using it for the weaving is the most important process. Small intervention technology were introduced using solar dryer which reduce the drying time, and it could also compensate for the loss in time due to the heavy rains that take place very frequent. And the women would woo water hyacinth using traditional Assami loom with help to different combination of techniques, material and tool to develop a high quality, comfortable and biodegradable yoga mat. Resulted in engaged 38 women, 3 Finch village and Notun Basti. Technology intervention could also increase. So Statehood Day, Gujarat and Maharashtra 1 May. Assam Shri Himanta Biswa Sharma National Technology Day is 11 May. India first Olympic bound fencer is Bhavani Devi. And Cyclone Taukte which lay deep depression over the Arabian Sea close to Lakshadweep was likely to intensify into the very severe cyclonic storm bringing heavy to very heavy rain to many parts of the west coast. So Tauke is in the Arabian Sea close to Lakshadweep. Okay. Now sovereign gold bond scheme is the RBI has decided issue sovereign gold bond. Sovereign gold bond will issue 6 tranches from 17 May. The bond will be sold through scheduled commercial bank and small finance bank, payment bank, stock holding corporation of India, design post office, national stock exchange, Bombay Stock Exchange. Minimum permissible investment will be 1 gram. Investor will compensate fixed 2.50% per annum, and the bond will be for the sale to resident individual, Hindu undivided family trust, university and charitable institution. Bond will be period of 8 year and 5 year to be exercised. Section 142 Social Security Code. It's a code to Ministry of Labor Employment applicability Aadhaar. The notification of section will be Ministry of Labor and Employment to collect Aadhaar details for the database beneficiary under various social security scheme, national database for unorganized worker, advanced state national information center, migrant worker for purpose giving benefits, various scheme, interstate migration worker can register himself portal, and release the new framework for Swamitha scheme. Swamitha scheme, Ministry of Panchayati Raj to detail roadmap of guideline for the various state in terms of scheme objective coverage, various component involve the year-wise funding pattern, survey approach, methodology, stakeholder involve their role, responsibility and monitoring and evaluation of deliberation. Property cards have been distributed 7400 village and beneficiary benefited scheme. The scheme will benefit rural residents, providing them property cards and use for taking the loans and creation accurate land records for rural planning. Swamitha scheme aim to provide property rights to resident rural area in India using drone survey, provides mapping, and Prime Minister occasion of National Panchayati Raj successful completion. Ministry of Panchayati Raj is nodal ministry implementation of Swamitha scheme. Records of department will be nodal department, and Government of India European Investment Bank for second tranche Europe for the Pune Metro Rail project. The project aim to provide efficient, safe, economic, pollution free mass rapid transit system and city Pune with heterogeneous traffic. The financing help to fund construction and operation corridor 1 Pimpri to Swargat corridor and Vinag, and boost to India export potential is non basmati rice export like Paradip Port, Odisha. So this is first time history of Paradip Port non basmati rice will export it and would hugely boost India export of non basmati rice in while boosting the income. Now India begins export of organic millets also, so boost to organic products. First consignment of millet grown Himalaya, snow melt of water of Gange in the Devbhoomi, Uttarakhand. The export of millet to Denmark would expand export opportunity in European country. The export would also support thousands of farmers, and millet are gaining a lot of popularity globally. So millet are considered superfood and eat smart strategy, and short growing season, climate change resilient and low water requirement make millet an ideal crop. Millet can grow in poor and soil condition with less water, fertilizer and pesticide. They can withstand higher temperature, making them perfect choice. Climate smart cereal. Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi is the under program vulnerable landholding farmer family having cultivable land will the provided direct income support 6,000. This is support to transfer directly into the bank account and installment of 2,000 to supplement the financial needs of small and marginal farmer for procuring various inputs related to agriculture allied and give boost to the rural consumption. The augment government efforts in aim doubling farmer income. PM Kisan is a central sector scheme, 100% funding Government of India. Under scheme, income support 6,000 per year provided to small marginal farmer. Definition of family scheme is husband and wife, minor children. State government and UT administration will identify the farmer family and the fund will be directly transferred to the bank. So provide support to the smaller marginal farmer and in subsistence farming struggle to invest in agriculture input or technology. It will boost the rural consumption and positive for agriculture and allied sector. Poverty reduction cash transfer program important tool for social protection, poverty reduction and hunger reduction, better use of increased productive investment, increase access to market and stimulate local economy. Income support can be used to make repayment, at least activate a bank account. Rural development agenda including proper growth. Asiatic lion Hyderabad Zoo infected with SARS-CoV-2. Further analysis of the sample have revealed that the infection was not caused by any variant of concern. The 8 lions have been isolated and due care of necessary treatment have been provided. 8 lion has responded well to the treatment. So preventive measure already in the place for zoo and staff. Zoo has closed to visitor to avoid minimum external SARS-CoV is no factual evidence of animal and transmit. Asiatic lion is the Gir National Park, plethora of Leo population. So Bengal tiger, now Indian leopard, snow leopard, clouded leopard. So they are inhibiting in the India. and status listed in the Schedule 1 Wildlife Protection Act Appendix 1 sites and endangered, so slightly smaller than African. The most striking morphological character is longitudinal fold of skill running along the Bailey Asiatic line. It is the initiative Minister of Tribal Affairs TriFed launched to improve the tribal income. So value addition tribal products, and it will be market linked tribal entrepreneurship development program for forming cluster of tribal self-help group and strengthening them the tribal producer and company. So to aim set up tribal community on minor forest produce centric multi-purpose Vandan Vikas Kendra and common facility center for procurement come value addition to locally available one typical Vandan Vikas Kendra and help group each consisting 20 tribal gathered. This self-help group will get training on sustainable harvesting, collection and primary processing. Value addition also provided. Sutra models is scientific working for charting the COVID-19 using mathematical model. Nitrogen generating plant to generate oxygen. Considering the requirement of medical oxygen amidst the COVID-19 pandemic situation, the Government of India explored the feasibility of conservation the nitrogen plant to produce oxygen. Process of converting the existing pressures wide absorption nitrogen plants for production of oxygen were discussed in the nitrogen plant carbon molecular and where geolites are required for the production of oxygen, therefore by the replacing carrying out few of change. So on deliberation of so far 14 industry have been identified where converging of plant is under progress. Nitrogen plant modified for the production of oxygen and shifted the hospital. So it can be used for on-site production of oxygen and hospitals or specialized vessel. IIT developed the tech traditional eco-friendly mobile cremation system. Indian Institute of Technology Roper has developed a prototype of movable electric cremation system, and it used the half of the wood and required for the cremation and still is eco-friendly because of the technology used combustion air system and technology in which the quick lighted grow. This is converted smokeless blue flame with help commercial air system and shape wheel and can be transported anywhere and with combustion air for primary secondary hot air. Guru Tegh Bahadur is anniversary, so last 4 century. Imagine without influence Guru Tegh Bahadur. Ninth Sikh Guru Guru Tegh Bahadur was 10th Sikh Guru, and born Amritsar was the youngest Guru of Hargobind. So 115th of the Hyman Guru, given assassination of Guru Tegh Bahadur on the Aurangzeb order, he stood up for the right of Kashmiri Pandit who approached him against the religious preservation of Aurangzeb. He was publicly killed 1675 on the orders of Mughal Emperor and Aurangzeb in the Delhi for the himself refusing Mughal ruler. Gurudwara Sisganj Sahib was the Gurudwara Rakasganj. An impact of his martyrdom was execution 100 of resolved Sikh against religious oppression, persecution, and make the protection of human rights central its Sikh identity. And nine-year-old son Guru Gobind Singh Ji organized Sikh group into the district formal symbol of paternal community. Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore was also known for the Banu Singh or Thakur and also known for his Gurudev, Kabi Guru and Vishwa Kabi, poet, musician, artist and Ayurveda researcher from the Indian subcontinent. He is the sometimes referred as the Bard of Bengal and profoundly sensitive, fresh and beautiful verses of Gitanjali. He became the 1913 the first known European to win the Nobel Prize Literature. Humanist, universalist, internationalist and the anti-nationalist, he renounced the British Raj and advocated independence in British and exponent of Bengal Renaissance. He advanced a vast canon that comprises painting, sketch, doodles, hundreds of texts, and legacy also was there. Gitanjali, Gora, Gare Bare are the best known work, and his verses show story and novels were acclaimed for the lyrical colloquial naturalism. So his composition Two Nation Anthem, India Janagana Mana and Amar Sonar Bangla national anthem inspired by him. A Nobel Prize was stolen from the Safety Vault, Vishwa Bharati University and belonging to Swadesh Academy, Tagore Nobel Prize also got, and Vishwa Bharati University he established. Gurudev 150 anniversary, the government of India has issued 5 rupee coin. Tagore, who conferred the title of Mahatma M.K. Gandhi, although Tagore is said to have admired Gandhi, the different with him on certain issue. Rabindranath Tagore and Albert Einstein met 4 times. Okay, and Gopal Krishna Gokhale, influenced by the British philosopher parliamentarian Edmund Burke. Gokhale was towards realizing constitutional ideal. 3 decades abjured the use of reactionary and revolutionary way. Gokhale first arrived on the national scene after cross-examination British colonial expenditures and Welby Commission. And Gokhale work earned him praise in India as a laid bare British military financing policy unburdened India taxpayers. So Viceroy Lord Curzon regarded among the most vituperative of races to occupy the post. Gokhale joined the Indian National Congress, emerging as one of the male leader of its moderate wing, and gave the teaching of 3 years later to work as a lawmaker for the remainder of life. At Bombay, Gokhale opposed the British government onerous land revenue policy and compulsory primary education as creation of equal opportunity to fight against untouchability. Gokhale played key role framing the parliamentary reform and advocated expansion of legislature council both the centre and the province. As critics British and parental bureaucracy, Gokhale favored decentralization and promotes Panchayati Raj and Taluka body. He also spoke the Indian diaspora living in the other parts of British Empire and opposed tooth nail indented labor system. Problem empirical legislation. Gokhale became the Congress president. Banaras station. This was also time of the bitter difference has arisen between a group of moderates and the extremists. Lala Lajpat Rai, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, among the others, matters came to be had when the two factions split Surat station and historical ideological difference. Gokhale maintained cordial relationship with the opponent and campaign was released Lala Lajpat Rai, who was imprisoned at the British Mandalay. After Mahatma Gandhi returned to India, joined Gokhale group. So, lead independence. Gandhi rewarded Gokhale as the political mentor, wrote Gujarati dedicated to the title Dharmatma Gokhale. And Maharana Pratap was the 13th century Mewar in the northwestern India in the present day state of Rajasthan. Rana Pratap defines of the mighty Mughal empire, although alone the ended by the other Rajput state, constitute a glorious saga of Rajput spirit of self-sacrifice and cherished principle. Battle of Haldighati was fought Akbar and Maharana Pratap. Maharana Pratap, also known for the Pong Reservoir, Pong Dam, was created in building highest earth-filled dam, India Beas River wetland zone of Shivalik, so Kangra district, Himachal Pradesh, named the Maharana Pratap, and Reservoir Lake is well known for the wildlife sanctuary and in the Ramsar Convention also. So this was also the current